Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino! Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday morning show. Thank you for being here today. Today, I have a new guest. He is, I guess more commonly known as the Mirasphere's Origin. So here he is. How's it going today?
Good, how you doing?
All right. So, since there are going to be some folks that are just rolling in here, we'll just kind of shoot the breeze for a minute. I thought today we would talk about some video games, maybe a little bit about what's going on with Legos, and maybe get into, some of the ways that you can accidentally cancel yourself in today's society. So hopefully that's stuff that we can chat about for a little bit. We go for about an hour on this show. So let's hope that we can fill that hour with some information and some amusement. So how does that sound?
Sounds fun.
All right, fantastic. Okay, well, let's see if I can get myself onto camera here, and we'll get going. All right, there we go. So first and foremost, let's talk about your channel. Let's have you break it down, completely introduce yourself, tell everybody what you talk about.
All right. I am Daniel from Mirasphere Origins. I am pretty much the main creator. There's a couple other people that I'm pulling into my channel. My brother, who is my editor for the book I'm doing. Pretty much I cover books, TV, movies, pretty much pop culture. Right now I'm writing my own fantasy series, sci-fi.
Oh, cool.
It's like a sci-fi fantasy book. And I hope it should be around seven books now, when it's all done. The first one should be done hopefully by December. It's a novel, so it's not like, I don't have any art skills. So.
Oh, okay. You can always hire somebody to do that.
Well, my plan is if the book series does really well, if it starts selling real well, I'll use the money that I make from that to hire. I want to hire like Comics Gate guys and stuff like that to do a comic book run, like have it either mirror the books or do like side stories that follow. But yeah, it's an interesting thing.
That's cool. And what kind of area in that genre are you targeting with that book?
Mostly fantasy, but it's got like space in it and stuff like that. It has a lot of inspiration by like Tolkien and guys like that. So it's gonna have like dwarves are in it. It's gonna have like different stuff. But yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, well, awesome. And so most of your videos are going to be similar to mine. You're gonna go over the different types of pop culture things, the kind of stuff we fight against every day, trying to preserve what little we have of our modern mythology, right? So
yeah. Most of my videos are done on my phone. My live streams are here on my laptop. So
that's awesome.
One day I'll get a better stuff, but
hey, you can only go with what you got, and you don't always start out with a huge investment in it. You don't have to. I mean, yelling into the void is free. You can yell into the void all you want, and maybe somebody will look at you, once in a while. Maybe. But it's an experience in and of itself. So, I look at it that way. It's a hobby right now. And I probably think that, without a lot of help, it'll be a hobby for a very long time. But anyway, so I always want to talk about, things that are coming up in the future, because we do have some things that we can look forward to. One of them always is going to be sources of entertainment, and whether that's movies or games or board games or card games or video games, which is always the subject that I try to speak about regularly. You know, there's a lot of good video games out there. We've benefited from a lot of positive franchises. Like for example, what are some of your most favorite recent games that you've enjoyed?
Recent ones, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was a massive Final Fantasy VII fan. That was my first Final Fantasy game I've ever played. It took me 2 years to beat that game. I had to restart that game like 4 times because I always got ahead of myself, where I'd stop, battling stuff. I got tired of the grind, so I would just keep going, and then I get stuck, and I get killed. I was like, start over. So
yeah. Sometimes some of those games will make you grind for so long that you're just like, oh, I think I can move on to the next area. And you may not have been ready for that.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the Remake. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought,
wow,
the characters were fantastic. They really did really well with the characters. They actually have some woke stuff in there, but it's not woke. Like, they have a transgender gym guy, but they do it without even mentioning he's a transgender.
That's cool.
And it fits. The character's pretty cool. It's interesting. Then they have the if you ever played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Way back when, not the remake.
The iconic, he dresses like a lady.
I know, it's cool.
It made it
really cool.
So much funnier.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and the only thing I didn't like is kind of what they did at the end and how they kind of changed it. I know they talked about how they're going to switch it back to the original. So
I imagine you could have both options with the patch, right? I mean, it would seem, you just patch the game. I mean, everything's digital. That's one of the problems now. Everything's digital. So, if you want to patch a game, it's digital. If you want to patch a movie now, it's digital. Hell, they can patch it in the theater.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see what they're going to do, because I know in the original game, you open up when you leave the city, you open up with your massive world. And so how they're going to do that, I'm really interested in finding out. So, yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, that's the advantage of open world games, too, is you can always add another area. I mean, Fallout 4, for example, had 4 additional things that came along with a DLC, right? And if I'm a Fallout 4 fan, I love that. I'm a Skyrim fan. This is before Bethesda decided to, shoot themselves in the face. Yeah.
Yeah, Skyrim was fantastic.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, and then when you start to play around with the mods, and we always end up talking. That's one of the things I found out in the last 4 of these that I've done. We always end up talking about Fallout or Skyrim or both. And you don't, right? Unfortunately, with Bethesda right now, there's nothing to look forward to. But when you go back in time and you look at the patches that were added for the DLC content for Fallout 4 specifically, that one patch where they added Nuka World was ridiculous. They added, and they added 3 other storylines in the other 3 patches, the ability to, have contraptions and to build, have a workshop that had an automated factory system. I mean, there was a lot of really cool stuff that came along with Fallout 4. Yeah. But I think with a modern game like, or something that was redone, like a Final Fantasy VII Remake, like you were just talking about, you can patch that game. You can add to it. That's the nice thing about the way games are built now. Is that's the only nice thing about digital. But I still encourage everybody out there, if you're going to get a game, is to still try and acquire the physical media copy, because at the very least they can't take that away from you. And if it's got a single player category that you don't have to be signed in to play, good on you. So, I mean, I think that saves your bacon, because there's a lot of games now. If you just get the digital copy and they decide, we're not going to support this anymore, you're,
they close it down, and
you're out of luck. Yeah, it's terrible. But so obviously, we have similar taste in games. So, I assume that originally, or possibly, did you ever play the first Last of Us 2 game by Naughty Dog?
Yes.
Or excuse me, the first Last of Us game.
Yep, I played it.
And that's the thing. That's one of those games you go through. There was a lot of detail. They built out a pretty decent world. They started to coalesce on some lore, right? And then we start to get all the rumors 6 years down the line about the game that's about to come out, and all of the bad press that went along with that, right? And I'm not going to beat up on the Naughty Dog thing all day. I could, but I'm not going to. And in the what do they call it? The brass huevos that the company had to try to, silence everybody, right? I'm not going to go into that. What I'm going to go into is the fact that right now in development, HBO has a new show, a new series coming out, based on the Last of Us series. And if you guys haven't heard this, the news came out about 3 or 4 days ago, or maybe not even that. Maybe it was just 2 or 3 days ago. And multiple stories started to come out, and a great YouTuber, Mr. H Reviews, went over an article about it today. So what I want to do is I want to get to that in a minute. I don't want to go right into it, but I know you've seen the video now by Mr. H, so you have and I have to tell you that that will be a subject that we cross into, but we want to talk about a couple more things that we're interested in, or at least one. And we have a huge RPG game coming up, right? Yeah, it's amazing. And I everybody's going to know what this game is because we've been all looking forward to it for a very long time, and it got delayed twice. But I promise you, those delays are worth it. And of course, I'm talking about Cyberpunk 2077. God. Yeah. Beautiful. And so isn't it okay? So your impressions of this game going forward, what are you expecting from this game?
I'm expecting Witcher 3 level of epicness. They did such a good job in Witcher 3, and I have a lot of respect for these developers, so I'm really excited to see what they can do with the Cyberpunk.
I cannot, and again, this is me looking at a game like this and going, I know this game already. I haven't played it yet, but everybody out there has had to have seen the ridiculous, hour and change or 2 hours of gameplay that's been available for this game in various videos formats for a while. And just watching that was amazing. I mean, and that's not even fully developed. It's not done. The game wasn't done when we got to see all that stuff. So most of that stuff started to get out there a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And being able to adjust your character. And this is the thing. Most people don't understand. And you don't have to have you don't have to insert a political identity, political thing into a game. This game, because of the world that it exists in, you are always going to be editing your character. So you can you can edit it in almost every your character in almost every way. There will be ways to enhance your character that maybe we can't even perceive of right now because we haven't seen any of that yet. All we saw was the adjustments to your genitalia, guys. I'm sure that's something that everybody was looking forward to. Yeah. But and you know what? Actually, the Ravenite just put this beautifully. It's GTA, Deus Ex, and Blade Runner all in one. And that is probably the most apt description because that's the world we're getting is cyberpunk. And did you ever see any literature, cyberpunk literature or anything like that?
I've never read anything for it. So this is my kind of like my introduction to the cyberpunk world.
Oh man. Yeah, so you're in for you're in for a wild ride. It's going to be amazing. So, oops. Oh, I dropped the wrong. There we go. Oh, Deviant Porg, hello. Cyberpunk and the new Yakuza, the games I'm waiting for the most. Yeah, actually, the new Yakuza game is going to be amazing. I think we kind of touched on that, or another similar game that's about to come out. I cannot I cannot get more excited for a video game. I'm going to buy this stupid collector's edition that you're looking at right now because look at all the stuff you get. You're going to get the you're going to get the soundtrack. You're going to get. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, and I know it's dumb money, but I buy dumb stuff. I've got over here. This is Corvo's. Yeah, that's from. Oh gosh, now I just fell out of my head. But this is one of my favorite. Was one of my favorite games early that had kind of some of those. Witcher elements to it, where you had some magic that was mixed with technology that was set in a steampunk world. I mean, I freaking love that, and I'm losing it. It's not Dark Souls. Gosh, somebody help me in the chat, guys. Please, I'm dying.
I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
I would have to go across the house to get the game, but no. Anyway, I'm I'm very, very excited for Cyberpunk. I think this is a game you can look forward to. You won't be disappointed. There are going to be tons of Dishonored. Thank you. Another monster. Yay. Thank you. And Mando. Good job. Yeah. Dishonored. Yeah. So I love that game. I spent hours on, man. I loved it hard. It was fantastic. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I like how it changes the world if you kill too many people.
Yeah. Everything changes. Like so you got the consequences, right? I mean, that's what when you're doing. I avoid killing people. It was weird, you know. I played it both ways, but I mean, my first playthrough, I went through not doing that. And when this game will have similar consequences. There will be consequences to how you tackle things. There will be rewards for how you tackle things.
Different paths, and that was really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the more elements that you can insert into a game that allows you to become immersed in it, I think that's what we're looking for in video games. You know what? Here, this is brilliant. And Bethesda needs to take notes. Absolutely. Taking over 10 years to make a new Elder Scrolls, and they are surprised people want to know about a new game. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, where there's like, shut up. You know, we're not even talking about. I'm like, you hinted at it. At it. So either it's in development now.
It's been in development. No. You know the old lady that's in every one of the games.
Oh, she already old Grandma Skyrim. I heard about something about that.
Yeah, she's already recorded like mocap for the future game. Just FYI, because that story was out there now 18 months ago. I'll have to find it, but I don't have it bookmarked or anything. But that story's been out there for a while, so I'm very, very excited. You know, to get that. But again, it's Bethesda, so they're going to disappoint me. They've spent the last few years disappointing me. Fallout 76 made me, want to, burn my PS4 to the ground. But
I never got. I liked Fallout 4, but when I was like, I don't know. And they were like, there's no NPC. Yeah. I was like,
yeah. And DeviantArt's right. When you've read the literature for Cyberpunk, you understand where the inspiration for the Matrix came from. I mean, that makes sense, and 100%.
Yeah, I'll definitely start picking up some of those books. I got so many books on me right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have a library, and this room is just full of books, but. Someday I'm going to take a picture of this giant wall of books next to me and share it with everybody. But Runner Studios is right. Ghost of Tsushima. That was Tsushima. Yeah, that's the one we couldn't think of. That we're like, oh, that looks amazing. But here's the problem: are we going to get a bunch of garbage in that? I'm starting to have doubts every time something comes out. And I know it's coming out next month. It'll make it onto my game system. It just will, because Yeah. And I'll play it, and I'll even review it. I wasn't never really going to do video game reviews, but there are at least 2 or 3 games that I want to review, and Cyberpunk's one of them. Ghost of Tsushima is probably another one. And if we ever get anything else good, I don't expect much out of the Halo game that's in development. That's one of the problems. So
yeah, the last Halo game really disappointed a lot of people because they teased like they were going to face off. How they had all those trailers where there's going to be either one or the other, and one's going to die, and then it was not in the game at all. And people were not very happy.
Well, and that's, it's one of those things, because Blizzard started to do weird stuff like that when they were in the development process for World of Warcraft with expansions, and you would get game elements that you would see in advertisements or at one of the cons and BlizzCon or whatnot. And that wasn't actually ever reflected in the game. So you were always like, gosh, what's really going to be in this? And I think oftentimes we feel misled, and so we're let down by a game that otherwise we would not have maybe felt that way about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were presented with something that we didn't get. And,
the one game that really disappointed me was Anthem. I watched that trailer and I was like,
wasn't that
gold? And then
Anthem was a disappointment, right? But Fallout 76 made me worse sad. Sad's not the right word. Infuriated, disappointed. It made me not want to buy any more of their games, and that's the problem with what Sony and Naughty Dog Studios is doing right now. I'm feeling like I don't want to trust them to buy any of their games.
Yeah, Anthem scares me about just, the whole E3 and all this stuff, because any of those trailers could be faked. That's what they did with Anthem. We didn't know that.
It wasn't real.
Yeah, it wasn't real. Even the developers had no idea what they were watching. They're just like, this game looks cool. Whose is this? And like, that's yours.
It's your game. Yeah. Well, and that, and of course they had two different scenes, two different teams working on World of Warcraft, but the cinematic team was working with all the game elements when they were creating the cutscenes and the advertisements for the game. So at least it looked like it was going to look, just maybe not with those really cool cutscenes that were out there. And the lore in Warcraft is dense. I mean, if you played those games for a very, very long time, it's absolutely.
I played all the Warcrafts all the way up, and then I played, I think, World of Warcraft Elements of Pandora, and I haven't gone back to it since then. But
yeah. I honestly don't. I honestly don't know that I'll ever touch the Anthem 2 game if it does come out, because it's been teased to be in development too.
Yeah. I don't know. They have to prove a lot before.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, Mando Merc brings up a good point. We're going to get to see a lot of adult elements in Cyberpunk 2077. I think since the majority of gamers nowadays that aren't playing stupid games on their phone are adults, or they're your age or my age. I know Runner Studios is younger than us, but I know that for sure that Runner's going to be on top of these games for sure. But there are a lot more adult elements involved in these games, these big open world games that we all seem to enjoy. So let's see.
My kids, all they want to play is Minecraft. So
yeah. Oh, Neuromancer. Yeah. Oh, I know. Again, there's so much here. Wow. And here's another question. Are we going to get garbage? And that's the question. Yeah. Cast in the Shadows. Yeah. I see. Okay. So you've got to go over and check out Mando Merc's content. And Mando is also a big Star Citizen game player. So, and if you have a hefty setup, you can play that game, and it's still alpha, whatever, and it's still an amazing game, and it's not even done. And here's the thing: you have a persistent world in that game that will never go away theoretically, and you're talking about multiple hundreds of millions of dollars going into a video game. So I'm pumped. That one's I'm pumped about. Yeah, I pop in and play every once in a while. I'm trying to connect with Mando Merc. I've got to get into the Discord and get onto his Discord and go over this, because it's gonna be great. So Halo Infinite. Yeah, I hope that's true. I love the Master Chief as a character, so that's I'm hoping. Yeah, they made us wait for 4 years for Dragon Age, and they teased it forever. That's the problem is. You start to dedicate the huge staffs that it takes to develop a video game now, when it used to be 25 people to make an amazing, fully rendered 3D immersive world, maybe 40 if you count the marketing and localization teams, right? But now you have hundreds and hundreds of people, and the bigger the studios get and the more money they dump into humans, the worse the products seem to get, because it's not cohesive. The people don't gel. It's too big a team, And I think that's why Rockstar was able to keep things together. They had consistent leadership up until recently, with the Hauser, and they were able to keep their teams divided in small little groups to work on the development process. The story group was a story group. The guys building the assets were the assets. There wasn't a lot of crossover, and they weren't looking for input from the any of the programming side. So I think that's what that's where we get idiots like Druckmann. He was a programmer, and they made him into a story guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I have definite feelings about that.
And then they chased out the one woman that was actually really good.
The lady that you chased out the person, and he gets credit. So now he gets the credit for what she built. He's a total tool bag.
And then he destroyed it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I have opinions, guys. Lots of them. Halo 5 was absolutely horrible. Yeah, that's exactly the fight I was talking about. Yeah.
I love Halo. The originals, I used to play that.
Oh man, we had LAN parties. We had LAN parties, dude.
Yeah.
4 televisions, 4 boxes. It was hardcore.
Like high school, I remember like we'd go to a friend's house and there'd be like 20 of us and like 5 different Xboxes all hooked together.
Yeah.
We had to bring TVs over, not the little flat screen TVs, the big freaking TVs, freaking set them down and all play together. Oh man. So much fun.
Yeah. Oh, guys, if I miss any of your comments, it's not on purpose. It's got you guys are communicating, which I love. I'm trying to get as much interaction as we can here. We may not make it to many of our subjects today, especially because we're talking about games.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge. I know you're a huge Halo fan. I'm hoping so. And the problem is, and then this is one of the things, and you Man Works, like, it was 100% fake, which you were just talking about, and that game had trouble from the word go. And hey, there's one of my Aussie friends. What's up, Lyndon? So, but honestly, I have to say that if they're able to spiritually reboot the game with Halo, I'm all in. I'm all in. So, and hey, I echo that sentiment right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Cockman.
Yeah. Well, we think they might be listening to fans, but we don't know. And when Halo got cut loose or Bungie got cut loose, is that are we gonna get better development, a return to form, or are we gonna get more of the same? I don't know. But hearing other people optimistic about this, especially people who are as passionate about these certain games that I am, that makes me feel better. Maybe we're gonna get something that we love. So I'm pretty pumped.
I know Division 2, or not Division 2, Destiny 2 has been up and down since they left. I know a lot of people are like really excited, and some stuff comes out and they're like, and better. I don't know.
And it gets, and that's the problem, is you get very uneven. It's not. That's the other problem, is you're trying to develop these online elements in such quick bursts that you have different teams that aren't coordinating. So you get very uneven performance. And you cannot do that, which is why when Blizzard originally was developing World of Warcraft the way that they had traditionally done since vanilla launched way back when, that game was again a small team, and they took a long time to add DLC. The expansions were carefully added. The different elements were carefully added. There's a lot that happened 3 years ago that just pushed me away from that game. And then the ability to buy your way into gold and buy your way into objects and buy your way, that really got just disgusting for me. Monetizing an economy in real world money is rough, which leads me into this. And you can't monetize a game like Dragon Age. You can't.
I hope not.
And you're not going to develop as a developer. You're not going to build that game, even though it could be one of the biggest games you build financially, because you can't. It doesn't show up on a quarterly report. Unless you're The Witcher. Dude, The Witcher 3, that puppy came back big time, especially with the show, right? I mean, that show kicked that thing back into overdrive. The sales went through the roof. Guess what? You make a good game, people are going to come back to the game. If you build... Yeah. And if you build out the DLC, right? How much of the DLC for The Witcher did you play? All of it?
All of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So So this is a real question. This is one that you can get right into. Between the base game and the DLC, did that feel even?
Oh yeah, that especially the last the what is it? The Rose? I can't remember what it's called. The one where you go to the whole new land. It's very much more colorful. The vampires and stuff. That was pretty much as big as the entire. I
know.
Yeah, it was massive. I was oh my gosh, it was so cool.
But the question is, was it uneven? Did that game still feel like the same game?
Oh yeah.
They played the same way.
Yep.
Your cutscene, your interactions, all of that. How did that feel?
Like it was just fluid. It was perfect.
Exactly, and that's
fantastic.
And that's what we're looking for, and that's why, even though this game is delayed twice, I'm really excited for Cyberpunk 2077. So, but yeah, and then you have games like Baldur's Gate. I loved Baldur's Gate originally, and I'm an old dude, so I've been playing these games since they launched originally. So, so if we see this game, we should be pretty pumped. Halo Wars 2, yeah. Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, this is true. The art style. And yeah, when you start to communicate with us, the community, the fans, that's that you solicit feedback. Well, look what happened for the Sonic movie, right?
Yeah,
But
that movie was fantastic.
And I feel bad because it seems like AT&T put their foot in the right direction with the Snyder Cut thing, and they might be doing some other stuff for us, guys, if rumors are to be believed. But this stupid game, this stupid Last of Us game is, excuse me, series, not game. Well, the game too, but the series coming out is going to not feel right.
It's going to crush it, and then people are not going to care, and then the show's going to come out, and AT&T is not going to be happy. AT&T wants to make money.
Yeah,
that's what's good. I like that.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, we want to make stuff that fans will actually want and make.
Well, and you end up with a silent majority of humans that aren't being represented. So when you don't make money, you missed the majority of humans.
Yeah.
So you cannot cater to the extremes on either side, and that's and that we can get into that later if we make it into the cancel culture stuff that we were going to talk about. But oops, yeah, sorry, there we go. I've got 900 hours. Yeah, you're not the only one. People live in that game. I mean, the only game I think, yeah, I mean there's only a couple of games I think that have more of my time. Actually, I think I played Halo until I destroyed 2 controllers with my thumbs, but with the Witcher, I mean that game's long. Skyrim is long. Fallout 4 can be long. It all depends on the depth of the game, the engagement. Fallout 4 turned into adult Legos for some people, including me. On nights when I want to just chill, I can just build settlements all friggin' day.
Nice.
It's just one of those things. But I think Civilization franchise, and that's just a simple, builder, whatever you want to call it. I love that game. Any RTS game or real time strategy game, I love. But when it comes to being engaged in something, it's got to be a first person shoot. Yeah, I know they're yeah. I'm sure it's going to be going gold before its release. I mean, it was close. It was close before.
Last update I heard, they were just polishing it. They was making polishments.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Mando Merc they stick to the September deadline that we've all seen. I mean, it looks like based on the website, and let me see if I can scroll through here. Yep, September 17th. They're still sticking with that date, guys. So I'm feeling good about it.
But I'm gonna be like the month before it comes out, probably.
Feeling good about it. All right. Yeah. What concept? Making something that makes money because RR. I know. If we were more represented, I would think that it's and look, if you build something for people who are going to enjoy it, the majority of your customers, you're going to make money. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you make something that's offensive to the majority of your customers, you're not. Think of all the bad press that's coming up for not bad press, but bad will. Maybe bad press too. That's going to show up because of The Last of Us Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
They made a game. People are not happy with it. Yeah, and I'm so flippin' frustrated. It's dumb. Can you tell I'm trying to avoid getting to the series story that we talked about? I'll get there, guys. I'll get there.
But that's why I'm creating my book series. Is actually because of Gary. I was listening to Gary from Nerdrotic.
Yeah, Nerdrotic.
Because all these franchises keep dying.
Yeah,
and he's like, what's going to happen is fans are going to start creating their own stuff because all they want to do is they want escapism. And when I was a kid, I played Legos. I collected Legos as a kid, so I always made stories up. And I've stuck with this one that I've kind of developed over the years. And so I decided, you know what? He's right. So I decided to do the book. as a fan writing for fans. Something new.
That's awesome.
I hope it blows into a franchise, to comics, to everything. But you never know.
Yeah. No, and that's one of those things. If you're passionate about something and you're developing, I think that honestly, I mean, it's it's something that if you reap any kind of benefit from anything at all, I think that's fulfilling. So even if you only the book, or even if it only turns into a comic book, or if you get both, that'll be satisfying because you've completed something that you're passionate about. And I look, if these guys are making garbage video games or garbage movies or garbage TV shows and they feel passionate about it and they feel felt by it, well, good for them. But it has to be something that has an audience, and that's the question we should always ask when we create something, and it's the question we should always ask when we critique something. It should always be, who's our customer here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, well, let's get rid of
fandom's everything. That's mine.
Yeah.
You don't have fans, you have nothing, and it sucks seeing everybody attacking fans. And I said if it does become big, and I hire other people, and someone attacks a fan, they're done. I'll throw them out faster than anything. Do not attack fans.
Yeah, and that's kind of weird because I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll say on this platform, I'm not gonna buy this game because of this reason. But I'm not canceling anybody who wants to buy the game. I'm not even canceling the studio that made the game. I'm just not gonna buy the game. I'm not gonna support that. I can't support suppression either. It's starting to get to the point now where people are making choices about suppressing their friends even, and that's just not okay. So, but anyway, so we have this article which I got to the top of. Sorry guys, it's a self-run show, so I don't have a production team here, but I try. This is the show. They are taking The Last of Us. They're making it a series, guys. And there you are. So you have The Last of Us series, HBO, from Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin. So they're using a good guy, right? Somebody who made cool stuff that kind of worked his way up the ranks. They're bringing him in. And then they add this chuckle nuts right here. His name's Neil Druckmann. And that's a real problem because this dude did not create this world. He was a programmer. So I'm going to read this article, or at least part of this article, super fast, so at least you guys can catch up with us. The pair will write and executive produce the adaptation of the Sony PlayStation video game. Craig Mazin, the creator of the acclaimed limited series Chernobyl, is reteaming with HBO to adapt the hit video game, The Last of Us. In a rare development in the world of video game adaptations, the writer and creative director of the game, Neil Druckmann, is also involved and will work with Mazin to pen. And this is they do not understand what is going to happen to this show. That was the worst thing they could have done. Just license the product, make something that's good. Don't hire this turkey. What do you think?
Yeah, they could have just said, hey, especially if the game just gets total trashed. They could be like, we're not going to include the part 2. We're just going to make a story that follows the part 1. And then keeps going. Yeah. I first of all, the lady that wrote, I cannot believe that he boxed her out. It's still that thing still irritates me. What a concept. Try to make money. I look, I want to. That's the other thing. I don't mind consumerism. I will consume things if they're good. But I'm not just going to blindly consume things anymore because my heart's been broken too many times, and I'm sure you guys can friggin' agree with that. Oh yeah,
God dang it, nuts. But it's an archaic concept. Yeah, let's make stuff people want, and then everybody's going to laugh about the idea that's new. Not new.
With Gary, he said this stuff's pretty much over. We won't see it for a couple of years, but
no,
companies don't have the money anymore to just throw crap to the wall. It's going to be like, hey, we need stuff that makes money. That's why, you know, DC's scrambling so hard, is because AT&T's like, we want this and we want it now. And they're like, oh crap.
Well, bring back the things that brought in the customers in the first place. I mean, it's the same thing with Disney. This is where these creatives that aren't creative, like Kathleen Kennedy and similar, they do not understand their customer. Their customer are not the kids that they want, right? You're not making content for those kids. You're making content for the adults that were fans of your product from the beginning, from its inception, right? So you had something that made an impression on people as kids, but you're trying to do it in a way, you're trying to say, okay, well, we're going to create something new. No, but you're not. You're reusing the same material, the same intellectual property that got you the fans in the first place, but you're alienating those people. So you either make something that's brand new, right?
No.
Or don't. I mean, I think Gary says the same thing. I think we all do. Jeremy says the same thing. You know, it's you have this huge group of people saying the same things. If you're going to make your own stuff, make your own stuff, but don't pollute the stuff that's out there, because that's a revenue stream.
Like, I'm not a professional writer whatsoever. Actually, it's my worst subject. That's why my editor, my brother, who's a lot better at it, is so much God's gift, because he's like looking through my unreadable crap and he's like, okay, I can edit this. I'll make it where it actually sounds, you can actually read it, which is fantastic. But you know, if let's say my book blows up and then I get a call from like the Tolkien family, hey, we would like you to help us write new Tolkien. I'm like, no, I love your books.
Yeah.
But I don't have the knowledge or the expertise to write for your franchise.
Hey, I think there's a limited number of people. There's a limited number of people who can really write, right? I mean, you know, anybody can write a superhero movie because they already have, you know, the characters out there that are fully fleshed out, developed, you know, their character traits and everything else.
Yeah.
But not everybody's going to be able to pick up Lord of the Rings and run with it. You just can't. You just can't do.
Like, I know there's people out there who are massive more fans than I am, who know every single piece of lore. I'm like, call that person. That's the person you want to help you. Even if they don't write it, at least have them having your back while you write it. Like, hey, this is what this guy would do. This is what this guy would do. You know, because this is how they've acted throughout. And then I would have to research Tolkien's entire existence, and I have to like get to know his head. Like, oh my gosh, I love Lord of the Rings, so I would never want. No, I hope that doesn't get screwed up. I really do, because I know they're making a TV show. I'm just like,
I don't have faith in it. So I just don't. If you had to fire all your writers and go back to the drawing board,
I was like, ooh,
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So yeah,
they were terrible. Unless they were absolute like, well, terrible trash, and you know, Tolkien family saw what they were planning. I was like, no. Then it either gonna be really good or really bad. So
yeah. I'm not looking. I don't think it's. I hate to say this. I don't think it'll be good, and that makes me sad because and for people like Gary, who's even more into LOTR than I am. Yeah. I don't want that dude to be disappointed, but you know what? He's already called him out. He said, "Look, I'm either going to be the biggest promoter for this show, or I'm going to be, I'm going to be the one personally burning it down." Yeah. so
I'll try to keep my entire channel to burning it to the ground.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can read on from this article, but none of it's going to impress anyone. We all know where it's going to go, and it's sad. And like I said, they bring in the guy that is an up and comer in Craig Mazin, but then they throw the goofy looking Neil Druckmann into the thing. So, but anyway, I don't know. And the biggest problem I think is that the fans stopped being represented in any of our pop culture for a very long time. And I don't know how we're going to get back to it. I really don't.
Like Star Wars as an example, how like it was my father who was into it, who loved it, who brought me into it. Like when they shown the original, they did a reshowing of the original movies in theaters. My dad would, he snuck me out of school. And we slept in a van overnight to be the first ones in line to see the movie. That's how much more. My dad bought every single EU novel they had, and so I read all of them after he was done reading them. So it was his love for Star Wars that brought me into it. And it's like Karen Kennedy came in and she's like, we don't need any of you anymore. We're going to put in this whole new group. And those groups don't give a crap because we no longer care. My kids, they like the original stuff.
Yeah.
I have a stepdaughter who's 13 and a stepson is 10. And both of them were like, they like the original stuff. And they like the prequels.
Yeah.
But they're like, this new stuff is stupid.
my nieces and nephew are the same way. You know, outside of the Force Awakens, they can take or leave the other two movies. Well, mostly leave because their fascination with playing with my Star Wars collection or my brother's Star Wars collection or whatever it's waned. They're not doing that anymore. So you've lost a younger generation that you were targeting in the first place because you're dumb. But anyway. So, I'm going to just acknowledge, well, hang on. Well, first of all, I want to say hi to Lorena Creole and hi to Willie Woodward. Hi to Tommy, the universal moderator who's been wrenched on my channel. I wonder if he notices that. But, and that's the other thing. You can never find you can never find enough good moderators from what I'm to understand. And probably one of the greatest in here is Tommy. Ours pretty good too. So you can definitely wrench that dude. But person, I can't assume the gender. I can't do that. By the way, I cannot do as Jeremy does that voice so great. I love that so much. Batman gender defender or whatever he called it. It was so awesome. So, but I just don't have hope. When it comes to Star Wars, I think you're going to start to see, based on some rumor information that I heard, you're gonna be disappointed in some Mandalorian season 2, guys.
I'm so afraid. You don't care.
Very, very sorry.
She's got her fingers in it now. She knows it's popular, and that woman is going to be like mine. And except it's not. It's not hers. It's successful in spite of her. And as you know, I have a countdown clock for when we should theoretically be rid of this evil incarnate that walks the Star Wars universe, and there it is down there. I just cannot understand why I keep
226 gate. I don't know why you don't just give her early retirement, buy her out, and get her the hell out of there. Because you have 4 or 5 competent Star Wars people that still work inside of Lucasfilm. There's not many left, but there's still a few. Yeah. So it's frustrating. And here's some bad news. I don't like to see. I'm sorry, Mando. That's terrible news. Gosh, and that's the worst thing in the world. And believe me, I've been there. So, I'm with you, man. Thoughts are with you for sure, because that's terrible. Fur babies are important, guys. So, So this, like I said, this is great. She's fantastic. She's amazing. If you aren't subscribed to Lorena Creole, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't be. She's awesome. Pretty so sure. Great. Yeah. And
so many people.
I know I keep trying to, I'm like popping into friends' channels, trying to communicate with everybody. I feel like I'm always letting somebody down because I'm not there. And, but that's okay. It's a good feeling to have, because right now we need to share a community, because our voices have been largely ignored. That's what created the fandom menace in the first place. I mean, everybody here will agree.
That's how I found everybody. Yeah. It was like right after the Force Awakens when I started getting into it. But I wasn't under this. I wasn't creative either. I had a different name back then.
Yeah. But I had to change everything when I decided to start a channel. I realized that because, this became business number 3 for me. So right. I had to change everything, but it's the safest thing to do, because you can't associate yourself if you have other business interests with that, because your opinion might be tough for some people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but my buddy Willie's here. Willie's fun. He's a lot of fun, especially if you catch him on a live stream. He's fun. He's doing some animation stuff, cartoon stuff. You have to check in with Willie once in a while. So, but yeah, oh wait, hang on. Open airlock. Oh no. Oh no.
Mm,
Open airlock. You need to get that to Wes for him to cover tonight if he's shakes the headache that he's got right now. In fact, I'll forward it over, or I'll at least retweet it so he gets it. I'll definitely do that. So for sure. Boy, did we talk. Wes forced me to talk about some awful stuff on his channel. Did you catch any of that the other night?
yeah, I was watching it.
Oh,
And I was getting tired, so I laid it on the couch.
man.
I had it next to me on my phone going on, and then I just passed out. So I was there like about halfway till I passed out. So yeah, that was pretty fun though.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Yeah, I have to have a day job, Parrot Head. I'm not monetized, and I don't know. I mean, at a certain point, I think if you're big enough, if you're like Gary size, Doomcock size, Jeremy size, I mean, this becomes your job. But I have to have a day job. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have some flexibility in it, and but I'm also completely. My company depends on me in a way that is uncomfortable. So, yeah, if it weren't for me, that there would be a lot of things that didn't operate. So,
Nice.
it is what it is.
Right?
Yeah. I want someday. I hope. But right now, this is a wonderful hobby that I enjoy more than I expected. You know, I thought originally, probably like you did, I was just going to be yelling at no one. You know, right now we have 16 people watching us. We got up to 20. That's pretty awesome. I hope everybody's hitting the like button. I am terrible at self-promotion, guys. Awful. I can promote other people's stuff. I'll clip your videos. I'll make, memes. I'll do all that stuff. But I there's too much going on. I don't have time to promote myself. So today we got out 2 tweets. We got out a tweet 30 minutes in advance, and that's only because I knew that Mirror Sphere's Origin was going to be here. And then I got one out when we started. That was it. So I spent too much time preparing.
I forget.
And
I'll get to the end of my videos or something. I totally forget to say subscribe, like, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, oops. Oh
yeah,
well.
it happens. It happens. So, but anyway, I'm thankful that all of you are here. It's fantastic. So, and I appreciate everybody in the community. And you got people like Another Monster that you've got to cheerlead for all of us. Another Monster's everywhere, and so is Willie, and so is Mando Merc, and Open Airlock Policy, and Parrot Head. Parrot Head is the strongest Drew supporter I've ever seen. So, and if you like Battlestar Galactica, you should check out Drew's Pegasus Actual podcast, because it has a lot of your favorite YouTubers talking about Battlestar Galactica. So just keep that in mind. So
yeah.
And there's Lady Celtic Moon. No, you're fine. I wasn't shilling for that, but I appreciate it. Really. That's the other thing. You sometimes forget to say the thing that's the most obvious, which is you appreciate everybody that you communicate with, because they're so great. You get support from a community like this, and it's solid, it's strong, and it's pretty loyal. I mean, they'll tolerate you having an opinion different than yours, and that's good, because I tolerate people who have different opinions than mine. And we never got to the stinking we're never going to get to cancel culture, because we're running out of time. We got about 7-8 minutes. So, you know what? Let's just talk about the dumb thing. Oh, hail the Gilk Man. Wow, everybody's here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Good man.
Yeah, no, I think everybody knows and feels bad for you right now, Mando. I think that's where we're at. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. No. Where did we go? Oh, I just grabbed the thing that's gone. Where we? Well, yeah, Bear and Mead. Yep, Bear and Mead. Bear's awesome. Bear Nerd Fun just got his Fandom Collective card. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was, I think, yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
I know I voted for yours, and I voted for a couple other people.
Yeah. What's really funny is both Wes and I canceled each other out because we were up against each other, so we voted for each other. Oops. But that's the thing, man. You get in with this group of people, all of them, everybody. Yeah. I have yet to meet somebody, even if they have a different opinion, that I can't have a conversation with. That's rare, right?
No, I know. It's kind of sad, actually. That so many people are like, "Oh my god, your opinion's different. We should destroy you." It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, look at all the love there's love in the chat for everybody else, and you cannot get around that. So I love it. And you're right, our time has gone real quick, and unfortunately, I only schedule an hour for the show because I end up with other commitments for other channels on Sunday. So yeah,
No, it's fine. I keep telling my because I do live streams to my brother and my cousin, who's simply Will. I think it goes under Will's Word. It's his YouTube channel. He does all the Nintendo stuff. So, and I tell him, hey, we'll do an hour, maybe hour and a half, and it'll be like 3 hours later.
Yeah, like, and that you'll find when you're watching Wes's channel that as we add people to the panel, because I always try to be there with Wes because it's fun to talk with Wes. Like I said before, and I said this off the air before we got on the air, Wes is probably one of the best interviewers there is because he will get out of the way. If there's a discussion happening, that dude will back up and listen, and he'll cue something and then listen. It's phenomenal. So he's one of the best. But yeah. Anyway, you know what? I normally don't do this, but I'm going to do it here at the end because I feel like we didn't have enough time. So if you're available next Sunday, would you like to do this again? Because we got nowhere close to what we wanted to talk about. So I got you prepared on 3 subjects and we hit 1. Good job. But anyway, so honestly, so for sure, everybody has to go and check out the Mirror Sphere's Origin because the content there is picking up, right? You're putting it together. Yeah.
I did the last videos I think I did was a comparison to The Hobbit and the books because I'm going over the books for the first time, and most of them are audio books, but they're still and I'm watching the extended versions of the movie. The Hobbit, I just watched the regular ones because I don't know if they have extended Hobbit. I'm not sure. But then I try to compare, like, what's different. Is it better? Is it a lot worse? My feelings on it, stuff like that. Those are fun to do. I do a couple. I don't like politics at all, so I try to keep politics and stuff like that out.
Me too.
I did a couple of videos about talking about my book. If people are interested in learning more, I dropped a video of what I hope my channel becomes. Because this channel is kind of like to become the promotion of not just my book, but because I want to get it out there, and the more people get it, the bigger it becomes. I plan on doing all 7 books, no matter what. So even
you have to have a platform, dude. So absolutely, you're doing the right thing.
I know there's so many good books out there, so many fantasy books that I've never even heard of that I'm picking up and starting to read, and so it's just.
I keep looking at my books. I'm like, I have so many books, but and they're not all represented in this room. That's the other thing. Again, I'm going to take pictures of the library someday and post them because this is not even close to representative of all the media that I have.
Yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot of books, and most of my books are in storage or packed in boxes because we're planning on hopefully buying a new house eventually within like a year or something. So we've been trying to put everything in storage. But
all right. Well,
office space and stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, I'm definitely going to head out and check everything out. And because I appreciate everybody and Mando puts this together in a way. Time is a valuable resource. Why waste it on petty anger and nonsensical spite when you could be helping others and lift them up? Enough said.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And that's true. We have to lift each other up. We have to lift each other up every day. And whether it's here on this platform or on the cesspool that is Twitter, or the deeper cesspool that's Facebook, or any of these other platforms that you participate in, it's much more profitable to lift people up. And I think that the author Stephen Walton is the expert at lifting people up, I think. So, but all in all, oh wait, this is a book recommendation, I think.
Stuff. Okay, I'll have to look at it. Okay.
Yeah, and I just highlighted that, so I'm that way I can follow up on that. And that's the open airlock policy. Yeah, reading is key. I mean, that's the best form of escapism is the written word. And if you can read a play, you can read Shakespeare, you can read a script, and that form of entertainment in your mind's eye, it can produce phenomenal results. And we don't need the media that we're being given on the screen. So absolutely. So on that note, and because I love books, I'm going to give you one last chance to pimp your channel, and then we're going to roll out of here, and I'm going to say thanks to everybody.
Okay. Yeah, so Mirrorsphere Origins, I'm Daniel. I'm the main host. We cover pop culture, my book. I'm also on Twitter, Discord. I have a Discord server dedicated to my just stuff. I'll do updates on there. And I'm also, real quick, I'm looking for someone who does art, like does cover art, because I need to get my cover done for the books. So if anybody knows any Comic Gates guy or Phantom Menace guys are really good artists who know how to do covers for novel. It's a novel, so it's not like comic book. So if anybody wants to hit me up on Twitter, just hit me up, and I'll try to see the prior work and how to hire them and all that stuff. Because that's I want to hire people from this community.
There you go. There you go. Lift each other up, right? We all rise together. That's what author Stephen Walton always says. So with that, guys, I just want to say, take a couple moments, support my fellow Witcher here, and throw him a coin. And with that, I would like to say thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your time. And as you all know, as I always say, until next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys later. Have a good one.